There is a milk glass chicken on the bottom shelf that I did not see when I was in the store because I was heading for this vintage horse planter. That is cute and not like anything I've seen before, and I could be tempted, except Goodwill's prices hold me in check. Hi, I'm Michelle from Michelle's Romantic Tangle, and I am out thrifting again. Thank you for joining me. This is the Albany Goodwill, and I haven't been here in a couple of weeks prior to filming this one. Their shelves are not nearly as bare as the ones at the Goodwill in Salem that we went to last week. The boys would have liked this resin dragon, but they decided they'd rather stay in the car. So they missed out on it, and they also missed out on this thing. It took me a little while to figure out because the pieces felt loose and it almost but not quite wants to wobble, and it was a while before I turned it around and figured out it is a piggy bank. A very reflective piggy bank. I don't know if the two halves of the body unscrew. That would be my guess. Never seen anything quite like it. It's ugly, but not ugly enough to be irresistible. I'm always drawn to pheasants. I do not know why. They're just one of the things I have got on my radar lately. There's one of those 90s geese that were all over, and a whole huge collection of identical white porcelain baby booties. How and why and what on earth is going to become of these? Because I can imagine somebody having an idea for an art installation or something that would use all those booties, but I can't imagine them buying them at those prices. There's another fancy little shoe, and its price seems in line with the ones I saw up in Salem. Here's some vintage crock pots. I love the graphics on these vintage crock pots. I have a new one that works just fine, but mine isn't pretty. I want a pretty one, and I know that is ridiculous, and I am not going to buy myself another pretty one from the thrift store. We've got one. Really pretty bluish green baking dish that I was tempted, but it is estate sale season, so I was good. I love these little clear glass luncheon sets, and they are always so dang expensive. This one's $1.99 a piece, so for the cups and the trays, assuming that you could find the cups that went with the trays, that would be, what, $16 for a set of 4? I found one at another estate sale, or not estate sale, thrift store where I was not filming, and I got the match set of 4 for $3, so they're out there if you are patient. Lately, I find myself getting more and more patient because there are finds out there. You just have to wait for the right one. I like this bowl. I have no idea what I would do with this bowl, and I'm not there you can see the grapes. I didn't try to manipulate it to see the price tag on the bottom because I knew I wasn't going to be buying it, and I had a couple of books tucked under one arm while I filmed with my free hand. Here's some more of those luncheon sets. I think this one did have one price for all of them. They are just all over the thrift stores. These things must have been super popular back in the day. Liked the chickens until I saw the coiled wire top hanger, and I don't know why that dismissed them as a possibility. This is a photo album, and Bendy Stitchy has been using a junk journal to store her cross-stitch smalls in, so I am now in pursuit of the thing that I can store my smalls in. I wonder if those pages could be removed and replaced with something else. This isn't the one for me, but I didn't know those existed. This was tempting. It's a box for storing silverware, but I just bet that you could remove that foam piece that was meant to divide the knives and forks and use it to store unframed finished cross-stitch projects as an under the bed box. How awesome would that be? Not quite awesome enough for me to pay $14.95 for this one with somebody else's initials on it, but definitely awesome enough to make me start looking harder for an option that wasn't quite that expensive. And there have to be tons of those out in the world waiting for a good home. Checked out the crafts section. This floss, I twisted and turned. It's Madeira, and it talks about embroidery on one of the packaging. I couldn't find the fiber content. It seems like I have heard my friends talking about this stuff, although I'm not 100% clear on what it is. And that looks like so many packages for $6.99. It seems like it would be a deal, but there's no way to tell what the colors are. So it could be a wonderful variety of colors, or it could be an entire bag full of one really ugly color. And I've seen bags like that of this floss 6 or 8 months ago, so I don't know if that is possibly somehow the same stuff. Here's a kit for some little book necklaces. I wish I'd been able to find stuff like that when my daughter was younger. She would have been all over it. Of course, back then I also didn't have the budget for buying all the awesome kits that I'm finding these days. So maybe it's not a bad thing. I'm always finding things I could have used a few years ago. Here is a bag of floss, and if you look, those are very old but legit DMC labels. So I wonder how many skeins are in there. Someone questioned my thinking I could find a lot of skeins for a low price. I was so tempted by this Scarecrow book because of those creepy hay figures. I kind of wanted to buy it and hand it over to the boys and set them loose in our yard full of sticks and straw, but I decided that there's Pinterest and there's Instructables, and heck, there are probably YouTube videos about making scarecrows. I will have to find some and then see what they can come up with, or if they even care. That was my fear. I'd buy the book and they wouldn't care. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Michelle with Michelle's Romantic Tangle. I'll be back soon.